Hello, everybody. How are you? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Higher Self Wednesday. I am so excited about this. I cannot wait for us to be doing this every Wednesday. I'm going to be sharing my experience, strength, and hope, and how I worked all that through my new book, Changing the Game Plan. And I'm so excited about everything. You're going to need 4 books. You're going to need the AA 12 and 12, the Al-Anon 12 and 12, the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and the ODAP book. We're going to be studying from all 4 of those books. And I'm going to be going through the steps every Wednesday with you, and I'm so excited. I'm going to reach back here and get the book. This is my experience of how I work the steps. So take what you like and leave the rest. But we're going to start today with step 10. I'm going to take about anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes of your time, and we're just going to dig in, and I'm going to share with you how I got to this point in to get where I'm at today with the 12-step programs. And like I said before, it doesn't matter what program you're in, whether you're in addictive program or a non-anon program, you're going to love this study because we're going to be covering every area of the 12-step program with the original literature. So let's first start talking about the big book, because the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, I don't care what program you're in, and this is I got this at a conference I was speaking, and I just love this cover. It's great. But you always need the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, because this is where the program comes from. This is where the steps come from. And without this book, the original book, I don't care what 12-step program you're in, this is our 12-step Bible for any program that you're in, because this is where the steps are originally formed. This is where they're taught. And anything that we do from that point is an add-on to this book. So always make sure that you have this book available no matter what 12-step program that you're in, because this will help you work the steps. Now, another thing you need a sponsor, or either a clergyman, the big book talks about, or someone to work the steps with. You cannot do these steps alone. So the activities that I'm going to be talking about, a lot of them are to work with a sponsor. You're either going to be the sponsee working with a sponsor, or you're going to be the sponsor working with the sponsee. And that's how I have it broken down in my new book, Changing the Game Plan, which is available on Amazon.com. Now, we're going to start with the month of October, so I thought what I'll do is for the next 4 weeks, I'll just teach on step 10 for the next 4 weeks. But let me be precise. Even though I'm starting with step 10, you have to work, as I say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 to get to this step. You don't just jump to step 10. You work the steps in order, and there's a reason, because if you don't work 1 through 9, you will never get to what is going to happen to you in step 10. So let's start step 10. Step 10 says, continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. The one thing that I love to do, and that I was taught to do, everything that I say love, remember I was taught, because my sponsors have taught me over the years how to work this program. But one of the things that I always do when I'm working the steps is have you to look up every single word in that step, because it's so important. The one thing that I have learned in the 12-step programs is that my understanding of what I think things mean are not exactly what they mean. So in the book, I share on how with all the steps, you must go in and you must take a dictionary and look up every single word of the step. And so that's what we're going to start with today. We're going to start with breaking this step down. And this step says continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admit it. And the word continue means to carry further in time, space, or development. Extend. The word to means towards. The word take means to become. The word personal means of or relating to a private aspect of a person's life. The word inventory means the process of making such a list, report, or record. The word and means along with, in addition to. The word when means at the time that. At the time that. The word we means you, me, us. We're no longer alone in this program. Were means we are. And wrong means there's two parts to wrong. It means in a wrong manner or mistakenly. Because you could do something wrong mistakenly, but then you can also do something wrong knowingly. And it says in a wrong course or direction, going down a wrong course or direction. And carried means carried out or performed without delay. Admitted means to grant to be real, valid or true acknowledgement. It means used to refer to a critical situation. And that's the breakdown of this step. So let's go back and let's look at this. So if we continue, the step 10 says continue. We continue by carrying further to, toward. We're carrying further towards. Take means to become personal. Something related to our private aspect or our personal life. Inventory, a process of making a list or report of a record. And along with, in addition to, so that means this is kind of a two-part step. When, at the time that, were, you, we, you, wrong, in a wrong manner, mistakenly, in a wrong course or direction, and promptly carried out and to perform without delay, admitted to gain a real valid truth and acknowledgement to use in a critical situation. And that's what it means. And that's the breakdown of this step. This step means to continue toward becoming something in our private life, to make a list on a daily basis, because step 10 is talking about a daily basis, a record, in addition to whatever mistake, whatever error that we have made, to continue to be able to handle our critical situations. I love step 10. Step 10, when you get to 10, 11, and 12, by the time you get to 10, 11, and 12 in these steps, these are your steps that you're going to have to do daily. This program is very repetitious, very repetition. It doesn't change. It's a simple program, but what makes it hard is our ability to accept what we have to do continuously to be well. And so by the time you get to step 10 and you take this personal inventory, you're doing this on a daily basis. You've already done your 4th and 5th step, okay? And so this step 10 is 4 and 5 and 8 and 9 kind of together with 6 and 7 mixed in on it. But you have to, on a daily basis, continue to look at what you're doing every day. And when you're wrong, promptly admit it so that you can feel better, so that you can go on. Because the steps, all from 1 to 9, we have seen the guilt and the shame of all our wrongs and not being able to apologize for them and being prideful. By the time we get to step 10, we have already seeing how this is going to work, this action of what we're doing. And we know that it will work if we continually look at ourselves by taking this inventory and that the record, the list, the report of what we're doing wrong and promptly admitting it. And by the time you get to step 10, especially if I was sponsoring you, you learn that when you admit your wrongs, it's no more, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Because sorry does not change behavior. In this program, when we admit wrongs, because we're trying to change our behaviors, we say, I was wrong, and we ask for forgiveness, because that takes our pride down and puts us into a stage of humility. So when we're just saying, I'm sorry, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, it just kind of goes over our head. We do things for our sake. So when we say that we're sorry now, we say we were wrong. And when we say that, I guarantee you, you're not going to want to say you're wrong over and over again. That alone, saying that word, changes the behavior. And ask for forgiveness, it humbles us. And it makes us think, I don't want to do that again. I want to not be in this position again. So what do I need to do to stay out of that type of territory? That's what you're learning here in the steps. What do I need to do so I don't have to do this? Now, we're not going to do it perfectly, because wrongs, remember, mean in a wrong manner mistakenly, or in a wrong manner purposely. So we're never ever going to do this program perfect. But we do have what we call the steps that help us to get through on a daily basis to make things right with ourselves as well as our relationships. And that's important to all of us, because when we come in here, the first thing is that we're so mad at ourselves for whatever we have done to have gotten us here. We're so disappointed. We're so in that stage of mind of failure. It's like, oh my God, I have just failed. So when you're able to do this on a daily basis, it just is, I always says it's like an elastic band. It just pulls you back and it clicks you into the right space that you're supposed to be in at the right time. But this is exciting, but it's more to talk about in this book, Changing the Game Plan. So must get this book and work the steps. Now remember, this is my experience, strength, and hope, so take what you like and leave the rest, okay? But this is how I did it, and I'm sharing it with you. And I have worked these steps with thousands of women and men. And so I know it works. It does work, and your life does change. Now, I'm going to jump into the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous now. And those of you that have your Big Book with me, turn to page 83 in the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And we're going to talk a little bit about it for the next 10 minutes. And we're going to go through what the Big Book says, that after and during and while we're working these steps, by the time we get here, this is the way we're supposed to be and the way that we're supposed to feel. Now, one of the things I want you to understand, when whatever program that you're in, whenever you see alcohol or liquor or whatever, put whatever your circumstances in there. If you're an overeater, if you're a gambler, if you're having sex problems, all you're doing is just changing that one word. This program, Alcoholics Anonymous, is this book. The Big Book is the structure for no matter what program that you're in. So just take whenever I'm reading about alcohol or whatever, and just take it out and put whatever your circumstances or your program is. So we're going to start with page 86, the very last paragraph. And I'm not going to be able to finish this all today. And we're just going to pick up every week and continue to go on. And we're going to talk about this. But if you get to the last paragraph, it says, if we are painstaking Now, one of the things I'm going to do is point out big words in here. And so, circle that. Painstaking. What does that mean? It means attention to detail. So if we are attention to detail about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. And then from this point on, it goes into the promises. And I really want to get into the promises with you next week so we can talk, we can go into a lot of extent about them. So I'm going to stop right there where it says, if we are painstaking about the phases of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. But I am going to read the promises. It says, we at this point are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity, and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of usefulness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose self-interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. So powerful. When you work this step, the big book says, this is what you will know. Your whole life will change. The whole circumstance of your life will change. You know, the promises are really magnificent because by the time you get here, if you work 1 through 9 and you get here, this just breaks you down because the promises is what shows you that you have changed in life. Because when I read this, I remember after step 9 and I read, I'm going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. I had already started to feel that new freedom in my life because I wasn't attached to that problem that I was having anymore. And then it says, you will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. At that point, I was working with people in the program. I had started sponsoring all my bad things that I thought that I should never tell anybody in life and keep within me had come out. And I was using them over and over again to help people recover in this program. Unbelievable. We will comprehend the word serenity and know peace. At this point, I'm sleeping better at night. I'm more peaceful because I'm not living in that addiction and that addictive behavior. It says no matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our benefits can benefit others. I'm watching other people get healed behind my life and my circumstances. The feeling of usefulness and self-pity will disappear. At this point, I feel very useful in this program to myself. And self-pity, there's no self-pity about what I'm going through anymore. I am not in self-pity anymore. It has totally disappeared. I have lost interest in selfish things and gained interest in my fellows. I'm going to meetings and I'm learning not to be selfish. I'm sharing my experience, strength, and hope all the time with people. I'm reading. I'm on a routine of waking up in the morning at this time. It says self-seeking will slip away. I'm not seeking my own motives to always get well. It's not all about me at this time. It's about others. It's about my family. It's about other people, and yet I love myself. My whole attitude and outlook upon life had changed. I mean, I'm loving people. I'm loving the world. I'm waking up in the morning excited about going to work. And even though I know I have a stressful day, I'm looking at things now in this program in the life of gratitude. By the time you get to step 10, you're in a life of gratitude. Fear of people and economic insecurities will leave you. No more am I afraid of people or that boss or that circumstance or not having enough money to pay my bills or whatever I was going through, at the time, or whatever I continue to go through. I'm not fearful of it anymore because I understand that God is doing for me what I could not do for myself. And it says we will intuitively know how to handle situations that used to baffle me. Things that used to send me over the edge would cause you to drink or whatever you're doing, gambling, a need to do something, shopping, shoplifting, whatever your addiction is, codependency, trying to control somebody, the situation, those situations, I'm handling things where I don't have to jump in those types of crises to get through my life. I can face my life head on now. I can face it. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not ashamed. I know how to schedule it and how to do it. And now I've come to realize that I did not do one thing. Now I'm spiritually fit. Now I'm loving this God of my understanding that I found in step 3. And I'm understanding it's not me that's doing this. Yeah, I'm doing the work. I'm doing the writing. But I have a relationship with the God of my understanding now. And I'm realizing that God is doing for me what I could never do for myself. He's guiding me. I'm seeing that God is guiding me through this program to become better. I'm seeing his love shine in me, that he wants me better. He wants me healthy. He wants me living a healthy life. He doesn't want me in this torment of life at this time. But I'm also realizing the guidance of God in my life. And I'm not taking the credit, so it's keeping me humble and it's keeping me under radar so that I can stay in safe areas in my life. Because if I don't stay in humility, I always get out of those safe areas of my life. So I'm going to stop here and we're going to pick up next Wednesday, and we're going to continue to go through the 10th step this month in all 4 of those books and just see what it says about where we should be when we're at the 10th step. So like I said, I'm sharing my experience, strength, and hope with you. Take what you like and leave the rest. And this is my journey. This is my workbook. And it is a workbook of how I work the 12 steps in this program. And it is available to you right now on Amazon. So I will see you next week. I hope that you will have a good week in the meantime. And I just want to say, read your literature, go to meetings, and start working these steps. And enjoy the rest of your week and your day. And get healed and get well. Blessings over you today, great people.